Superstation TBS presents the Atlanta Braves, America's team. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By the official airline of the Atlanta Braves, Delta. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Turtle Wax, the world's largest selling car wax.
Hello again, everybody. Skip Carey welcoming you to another night of Atlanta Braves baseball from the ballpark. It's T-shirt night here. A big crowd is gathering to watch the Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals in the second game of a three-game series. The Braves came up short last night, lost the game 5-2. John Tudor, a crafty left-hander, will be on the mound for St. Louis. Rick Mahler, who's reeled off 5 straight wins, will pitch for the Braves. Game-winning RBI last night delivered by an old friend, now in a Cardinal uniform. That's Bob Horner, and Billy Sample talks with him. Billy?
Okay, thanks, Skip. Bob, you've always been the kind of player that could mask your emotions. Whether you went 0 for 3 or 3 for 4, nobody could really tell. Last night, how many emotions did you have to mask?
A lot. You know, you're coming back into a town you've lived for 10 years, playing against guys you played with for 10 years, in a city you lived in for 10 years. So a lot's going on. Like you said, there's a lot of emotions you're trying to struggle with, but it was a fun time for me.
How many trips do you think you'll have to make in before this becomes just another National League city?
Oh, I think that's going to take a long time. You know, this was the first city me and my wife bought a home in. There's a lot of great memories here. So I'm sure every time we come here, a little bit of home will always remain.
Bob Horner with last night's game-winning RBI. We'll be back with the rest of the starting lineups after this. Off in left field, Vince Coleman. Batting second at shortstop, Ozzie Smith. Willie McGee in center field, batting third. Tom Brunansky in right field. Tony Pena behind the plate, batting fifth. Bob Horner at first base. Luis Alicea at second base, batting seventh. Jose Oquendo playing third base today. Terry Pendleton on the DL with a pulled hamstring. And John Tudor on the mound. There's a look at the left-hander. This is the lineup. Russ Nixon throws at John Tudor. Albert Hall in center field leading off. Andres Thomas, the shortstop. Gary Renicky in left field, batting third. Dale Murphy in right field, cleaning up. Ted Simmons at first base today. Ken Oberkfell at third base. Bruce Benedict again behind the plate. Ronnie Gant, the second baseman. And Rick Mahler on the mound. Look at the umpires. Randy Marsh will be behind the plate. Dana DeMuth at first. Harry Wendelstedt at second. And Dutch Rennert at third. And Randy Marsh would like to say hello to his daughter, Lauren. Her Hinsdale school class, Mrs. Moyer's first grade class, is looking in. The umpires don't get home quite as often. And he'd like to say hello to his daughter, Lauren. Randy, a native of Edgewood, Kentucky. Skip.
Okay, in the other baseball, Billy, Montreal beat the Dodgers today 3-2 in 10 innings. Jeff Parrott got the win. Philadelphia in 10 innings beat San Francisco 4-3. Von Hayes, home run in the 10th, his 4th of the year, won the game. Greg Harris, the winner. Randy Bacchus, the loser. The Cubs hammered Houston and Mike Scott 14-7. They out-hit them 19-10. Schiraldi, the winner. Scott, the loser. Ashby and Davis homered for Houston. Rafael Palmeiro hit his 4th and his 5th. Jody Davis, number 6 for Chicago. Tonight, San Diego plays at New York. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. In the American League, the White Sox beat Toronto 3-2. Melito Perez was the winner. And Oakland 7-5 over Boston. All the other action will be tonight. Vince Coleman will lead it off. He's hitting .312 with 2 homers, 18 RBI. Bill Laimbeer bats second. Kevin McHale hits third for the Cardinals. Pitch inside. We're underway. 1 ball, no strikes. Whitey Herzog, known affectionately as the White Rat, the manager of the Cardinals. Popped up. Foul territory. Oberkfell and Andres Thomas both are there. Thomas calls him off. Had a better angle. 1 out. Coleman is retired. Here's Ozzie Smith. He's really worked to make himself a good hitter. We talked about this a week or so ago in St. Louis. When he first came up, he had no clue except defensively. Now he's fine all-around ball player, hitting .288. He's driven in just 9 runs. Mailer at the knees, 0-1.
Just to realize how scientific the game has become, I was with Smith. He was hitting under the cage yesterday, and he was talking about, as he grounds this one wide at first base, he could tell from his left and right side by the way where the ball was meeting the bat. I guess he put rosin on the bat to tell where he's hitting the ball in BP, to tell himself whether he's out in front of the ball, if he's waiting back enough. I guess you've got to make yourself a hitter to do that.
Just missed inside. Mailer appears to be going to his fastball more than he has in the last year or two. I know when Bob Gibson was here, that's what he kept preaching to Rick. Throws it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Of course, Gibson's fastball is a little faster than most fastballs, so a lot of people couldn't pitch that particular way, but Rick's got to get ahead of the hitters and stay in front of them, and as you say, he has gone to his fastball a little more in the last few outings.
Let's see what he offers up. 2-2. Another fastball. It's ripped to right. Murphy battles the sun, has it 2 down. Smith lines to right, 2 away. Willie McGee, the batter, at 301, 17 RBI. No TV tomorrow. We'll be with you again on Monday afternoon, a 1:10 game on Memorial Day. The Pirates come to call. Why aren't we televising tomorrow? There must be a reason.
Coca-Cola 600.
Oh, the Coca-Cola 600. That must be a race. Curve high, 1 ball, no strike. Charlotte 600 miles from here? Oh, the whole race is in Charlotte. I see. The 1-0 hit foul, 1-1. Bill Elliott, Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip head the field. Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte at 12:20 tomorrow. It is Charlotte, isn't it? The 1-1 pitch. Curve line. Gantz got it. Good play. Inning over. McGee hit it hard. But Mailer gets him 1-2-3 in the first. We go to the bottom half. St. Louis has failed to score. Atlanta is coming to bat. John Tudor will face Albert Hall, Andres Thomas, and Gary Renicky in the Atlanta first inning. In case you missed it, after the game last night, Larry Boa replaced as manager of the San Diego Padres by, of all people, Jack McKeon, who was the general manager but had former managerial experience in the American League and with the Atlanta Crackers back in 1964. Hall is hitting .265. No homers, 6 runs driven in. If you missed it, Detroit beat the Celtics by 4, 98-94, to take a 2-1 lead in their Eastern Conference final playoff series. Game 4 tomorrow and Game 5 back in Boston Wednesday night. Bob Neal, Rick Barry will have it for you on TBS. Tudor ready to go to work. Oh, whacks it fouled on the right side.
Tudor, sinking fastball. A lot of times he'll start you off with a fastball inside. You tend to pull it foul, and then he throws his off-speed fastball and his changeup away. Occasionally he'll throw a curveball, but he's going to stay middle of the plate away most of the time, although he will chase you inside on occasions.
Tudor makes his home in Peabody, Maine. Quickly out in front, 0-2. Bob Horner hoping he doesn't sink in the quagmire around first base.
It was interesting watching how the field is watered, and our statistician Hal Galima will come up with a stat later on that shows you how the Cardinals steal bases at home and on the road. Sometimes the teams take advantage of their home field advantage on the road for the Cardinals.
Popped up. Ozzie Smith backpedals, turns around, nothing to it, 1 out. That's a very, very difficult play, and he makes it look like a walk in the park. It's difficult for most human beings, but not for Ozzie Smith.
as around first base. What you do a lot of times, the sun is going to dry some of the field anyway, as you see Hoerner's footprints already, and we're just in the bottom of the first. That's third base. But especially around first, you'll wait and water that the last of any other part of the field, so the sun won't dry it quite as quickly as Thomas fouls this one at the plate.
Boy, he was way out in front. 0-1 the count. Andrus hitting .240, 3 homers, 18 RBI. That batting average is nothing to write home about, but this guy has had a good, solid year. He hasn't gotten into those depressions and sulking and fielding slumps. He's gone out and done his job, gotten some big hits for the Braves. He's maturing quite obviously.
But one of the concerns is that they wanted Andrus to be more consistent, and that he has.
Tomorrow, Kevin Kaufman against Jose De Leon. Little pop. Hoerner can't find it. The second baseman makes the catch. Alicea saved Hoerner. He lost that ball in the sun and the lights. 2 down.
So you see Tudor, fastball moving in the outside part of the plate. Thomas pops it on the right side. We get a look at Alicea coming behind Hoerner to record the second out of the inning.
Gary Renicky, the batter. Tudor was struggling a few years ago, and I can't remember whether it was a member of his family or his high school coach that watched a game he pitched against the Braves on TBS and got him all straightened out just from watching TBS. Rick Rayford tells us it was his high school catcher who spotted a flaw in his delivery.
Was that the year he reeled off about 17 out of 18? Or?
I think it was. Two balls, no strikes. Dale Murphy waits on deck. Time to get a little concerned about him.
He got an opposite field triple last night, so maybe he's starting to snap out of it.
Sneaky fast is Tudor, but he misses high. 3-0. We're scoreless in the bottom of the first. There's Dale. Well, how did everything go on Glenn Diamond's Spuds McKenzie night last night?
He didn't save you a Spud? A Stein?
I think I'm going to be getting one here in the not too distant future.
Oh, it's a cute little mug. It had a Braves banner on it. And
did it have a picture of Glenn Diamond?
Had a picture of Spuds.
Popped up again. Short right center field. Alicea goes out. Bernansky comes in, makes the play, and the inning is over. So the Braves go down quietly in the first, and after one, we're scoreless at the ballpark. Good job for the Cardinals, and he has 6 homers. He's driven in 30 runs. This guy's a pretty good ball player. Mailer low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Billy Sample, Skip Carey with you from the ballpark.
The Cardinals have a lot of table setters, but you need some people that can drive in runs, and that's what Bernansky has done for the Cardinals.
Home run cut, but he didn't get it. A ball and 2 strikes. Boy, he just missed, and again threw him the fastball. He doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but if he gets it in the right spots, he's got a good enough one to get him out. There's a big slow curve. He misses with it outside. Full count, 3-2.
I think you're going to see Mailer challenge more of the hitters, because especially in the National League where you have to play for 1 run more, you don't want to put a lot of people on base. And Mailer has challenged the hitters in his last few outings.
Fastball again fouled away. Big group here from WHPY Radio in Clayton, North Carolina, rooting for the Braves. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well hit on the right side. Trouble if it's fair. It is foul by about a foot. So the count stays 3-2. 2 of my favorite people, and I'm sure yours too, Billy. Jack Buck, Mike Shannon in the booth next door, sending the game back to St. Louis. Jack really broke me in back at KMOX years ago. He's a Hall of Famer, and deservedly so. There's Mike, and there's Jack. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball hit on the ground past Gant's diving attempt. A lot of Cardinal fans there. Brunansky singles to lead it off. Here's Tony Pena. Buck had one of the greatest lines ever a couple of years ago. He said, have to have a sense of humor to eat the food in the Atlanta press room because it tastes funny. Pena is hitting .255, 6 homers, 17 RBI.
You have more time than me. I'll leave you with that line all by yourself.
I quoted the man who said it accurately. Runner at first, nobody out. Ted Simmons holds the runner on. Gerald Perry gets the night off with Tudor pitching. Bob Horner waits on deck. Curve, foul to the screen. A ball and a strike to count.
Brunansky has pretty good speed for a big man. He stole 11 bases last year and 12 bases in '86. And even when he's not stealing bases, last night we saw an example where he went from first to third on a play that normally you wouldn't think a man his size would try. Ended up putting himself in a scoring situation.
A ball and a strike to count. Jammed him, fouled it off. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, we've gone in the booth here. We've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. Teresa Bush is no longer our AD, and Richard Croker is.
Sort of like the food in the press room. Huh?
Life is not always fair. And the 1-2 pitch to Pena. Curve outside, 2-2. Like most fellas from south of the border, it's very difficult to walk in. Rafael Ramirez, I think, had the best line about it. He said, you don't get off the island taking pitches. You got to be up there hacking. The 2-2 just missed outside.
You'll see a lot of the Cardinals trying to go to the opposite field anyway, and especially against Mailer, who has good off-speed pitches. Cardinals hitting instructor Johnny Lewis has the Cardinals leading the National League in hitting at a .263 clip.
There goes the runner. Popped, fouled on the right side again. Murphy has no chance. Still 3-2 on Pena. If you have a Braves schedule and you flipped on the tube tonight, you're surprised to see Braves baseball. This was originally to be an NBC game. They changed their plans, decided to do the Cubs, who won 14-7 today. So here we are. Also, the executives at TBS felt that Pete Van Wieren and I needed a little extra airtime, so they added this game to the schedule. Fastball drilled with a runner going, base hit. Brunansky heads for third. Murphy's throw cut off. Snap throw back to first. They've got Pena hung up. Now Brunansky down the line from third. They hold the runner there. There's the tag by Gant. Bad base running by Pena. Very alert play by the Braves. So instead of first and third, nobody out, where it should be, it's a runner at third and 1 out.
As we take a look at this, Pena goes to right field. Murphy comes up. Now Dale makes a good throw, hits the cutoff man in that situation. Big Andres Thomas, and Pena rounds first. And we were talking about the wet turf. I think he might have had a little trouble getting back because it is a little tough footing at this particular time of the game. As you see Ronnie Gant finally running Pena down.
Infield in for Atlanta. Bob Horner, the batter. He bats to mixed reviews here. Upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Horn's hitting .252, 2 homers. He's driven in 24 runs. Good cutter to fastball, fouled it back. A ball and a strike. Cardinals have mounted the first threat of the night.
And I think the reviews are mixed because there are a lot of Cardinal fans here. Get a shot of it, see all the red.
Bob never really was a overly popular player here. He got hurt a lot, but he always got hurt on the field trying to win. And he drives in a run with a solid base hit. 3rd hit in a row off Mailer. 25th RBI for Horner.
Fastball out over the plate. Mailer tried to quick pitch him. And Horner just takes it where it's pitched.
Luis Alicea, the batter. Youngster out of Florida State, hitting .233 with a homer. He's driven in 15 runs. Some surprising news today. Jerry Fraley, who does such a great job covering the National League for the Atlanta papers, has been taken off the beat. Strange. One of the best and is nationally recognized as one of the best in the business.
In the middle of the season. Sounds like there could be something to that.
Strange way to reward diligence and hard work. Three balls, no strikes to Alicea. Mailer, after a 1-2-3 first, really staggering here. And in the first inning, both Smith and McGee hit the ball hard, but right at him. The old automatic is in there. It's 3-1.
And normally, if that was in any other walk of baseball life, there'd be some serious investigative reporting. I wonder will we get that.
Well, you know,
find out what was behind Fraley's dismissal.
Strike 2. Alicea thought it was low and away. All of us who work for somebody else, you know, they can do what they want. The 3-2 pitch. Horner running. Popped into short right center. Albert Hall has a beat on it. 2 down, so Mailer battles back. The base running blunder by Pena may have saved a big inning here. And here's Jose Oquendo. He is my hero. He did it all against the Braves in St. Louis in that memorable 19-inning thing a few weeks ago. Let up outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
He filled in for Pendleton last night after Pendleton pulled a hamstring and got an RBI single.
One nothing Cardinals. We're in the second. Sharply hit. Base hit. So Tudor bats here, and even if the Braves get him, the Cardinals will start at the top in inning number 3. That is the 4th hit of the inning off Rick Mailer. Tudor stands in. As I recall, he is not much of a hitter. .170 in his career. Not
bad.
No, there's worse than that.
No, you hit 170 as a pitcher and drive in maybe 5-6 runs a year, you might have won yourself a couple of ball games.
I know right fielders who hit 170 every now and then, but none of them, of course, are in this booth. Good idea. Tried to bunt his way on, missed it. 0-1.
You hadn't been here for a while. I'm going to take it easy on you. You're just going to come out of left field with that one. All
Sure.
right.
Well, since I've got my rest, I had a day off.
Suter went to school at Georgia Southern University. Curve just missed high. A ball and a strike. Two and one. Rick thought he had a strike there, but Randy Marsh said no. Just missed. 3-1. You walk him, you got Vince Coleman to contend with the bases loaded.
Well, you have a lot of components for a lot of Cardinals on bases. The Cardinals get a lot of hits, and Mailer gives up a lot per innings.
Full count, 3-2. Horner and Oquendo will be running with the pitch.
Coming into tonight's game, Rick had given up 72 hits in 59 2/3 innings. And the Cardinals usually need about 12 to 14 hits to win a game.
There they go, the payoff pitch. He might have chased ball 4, and Tudor's a little upset with himself. It was a fastball up in his eyes. And he fouled it back. Horner at second, Oquendo at first, 2 out, a run in. Popped him up. Andres Thomas in short left center field calls for it. And the inning is over. Could have been much worse. Braves fortunate to get out of it, allowing only 1 run on 4 hits. No errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. St. Louis 1, Atlanta nothing. And we are holding up the division once again. The Cardinals 7.5 behind the Mets. Pittsburgh still in the hunt. Dale Murphy leads off the bottom of the second. I apologize to the folks in Massachusetts. I said that Tudor was from Peabody, Maine, but he's actually from Peabody, Massachusetts. MA is the abbreviation for Massachusetts.
ME for Maine.
And I wasn't smart enough to know that. 1 ball, no strikes.
I don't know. You've enlightened us with your knowledge of history and geography so far this season. Of course, you've traveled to all these places numerous occasions.
Yeah. Fastball high. It's 2-0. Boy, I got a scathing letter from a Missouri legislator when you forced me to say that the state prison and the state capitol were in the same town, and that made it a lot easier for everybody. Guy got mad about that. I can't understand why. 3-0.
It's not like politicians have never gone to jail.
Yea, verily. 3 balls, no strikes. We just make friends wherever we go. Let's see, so far 3-1. We've been offended the entire state of Massachusetts, the food in the press room, and every politician in Missouri. Not bad. We're only in the second inning. Little tap toward third. Oquendo. Low throw. Horner can't dig it out. Murphy's on his way to second, and he'll make it. E5. That's what you get when you play a pitcher at third base.
As you see the 3 hopper, Oquendo feels on his backhand, has the time, long throw, comes up short, and Horner's not able to scoop it up on his backhand. Tough play.
By the way, Terry Pendleton on the disabled list, and it's going to be a while. His hamstring is severely pulled.
I was surprised that he wasn't going on the disabled list after he pulled it the first time in St. Louis against the Braves.
I'm talking to Rick Hummel, a baseball writer who covers the Cardinals for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. He says 30 days minimum, maybe more. Here's Ted Simmons, runner at second, nobody out. And gives himself up. The only player will be to first. Murphy is at third with 1 out. That's an 0 for 1 for Simmons, but Russ Nixon appreciates it. Runner at third, and Oberkfell has a chance to drive in a run.
As we said many times, this is your basic ABC baseball. You get a guy on second base, nobody out, and you try to move him over. You've completed the B part. Now, if Oberkfell can drive in the run, you've completed the C part, and you score a run.
Homer the Brave perched out in Rally Alley, exhorting Ken Oberkfell. Dropped down a little bit, sidearmed him for a strike. It's 0-1.
What a guy he is. Good old Homer. Always smiling.
Breaking ball swept outside again. He crossfired him a little bit. Bruce Benedict is on deck.
I go away for 3 days and he gains 100 points on his batting average. Benedict up to 260.
And driving in some runs with those hits.
Curve just missed. 2 balls and a strike. Bobby Wine coaching at third. Roy Matika at first for Atlanta. Curve, fly ball, right field. Deep enough to score the run. Brunansky with the catch. Murphy can walk home. He jogs across, and it's a tie game. Number 13 for Obi. Homer going to work on the tom-toms as Bruce Benedict stands in. He's at 260. He's driven in 4 runs. He has 3 doubles. Ozzie Virgil's still banged up, and you know he's hurting when he can't play because he is a tough customer. Tudor deals. Fast strike over the outside corner. There's Ozzie looking on. Ground ball sawed him off. Ozzie Smith fields, throws, and the inning is over. But the Braves have tied it with help from a Cardinal error. 1 run, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. It's an unearned run, and we're tied 1-1. We go to the 3rd inning, and with the play-by-play story, here's Billy.
Okay, thanks, Skip. I had no doubt you would say that. 1-1 game. Cardinals in the top of their order. Vince Coleman, Ozzie Smith, and Willie McGee to face Rick Mahler. Vince 3 for 5 last night, and popped up in fair and foul territory his first time up tonight. Takes a fastball strike. Rick Mahler, as Skip mentioned, using his fastball a little more, trying to stay ahead of the hitters. Fastball, curveball, slider on occasions. Changeup, of course. Misses upstairs with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. For all you folks in Greenville, the Braves AA affiliate, before their Memorial Day game, Bill Anderson, a big Braves fan in his own right, a country music singer, will be performing as Coleman pops this one up to center field. Albert Hall's under it. 1 out.
He's a good guy. He's been a guest with us many times up here, and a good Braves fan.
I think he played some baseball in his younger day, too. And you see the scouting report on Bill Anderson. Pretty decent hitter. But as a fielder, he can pick it at short, second, and at the steel guitar.
Oh, very good.
Ozzie Smith takes a curveball strike. Ozzie lined to Dale Murphy and right his first time up. Takes another curveball. This one hits to Andres Thomas at short. To Simmons. And they're 2 away in the inning.
Mahler having a schizophrenic game, a 1-2-3 inning. A
4-hit inning. And now the first 2 in the 3rd.
You get accustomed to that from some of the younger pitchers, but it's better that he can come back. Of course, Rick does, as we said earlier, gives up a lot of hits per innings pitched, but he's able to either pick off a runner or throw the double play ball, and the Cardinals put a lot of runners on. It's Mailer, quick pitches. McGee misses with the fastball downstairs.
You know, just that inning in which the Cardinals scored their run, you see why fundamentals are so important.
Base hit to the right side. McGee, who was 3 for 4 last night, picks up his first hit of the night.
If Murphy doesn't hit the the cutoff man, if Andres Thomas isn't alert, if Ted Simmons isn't in his position, Cardinals might still be batting in that second inning. That one play may have turned the entire inning around.
Well, you're right. Sometimes it's just the little things, and I think it's one of the things Russ Nixon's going to stress. He had him out here yesterday working on some basic fundamentals. Tom Brunansky, the batter. Bruno fouls this one back. Benedict has a play. Yes, he does. Catches it up against the screen for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Cardinals fail to score. They get a hit, leave a batter after 2.5. The score is tied at 1.
Holy cow. That's a pretty girl. A bunch of them down there. And good-looking fellows as well.
The Braves baseball kids, part of the entertainment here at the stadium. Ronnie Gant will lead off against John Tudor in the Braves' 3rd. He'll be followed by pitcher Rick Mailer in the top of the order and Albert Hall. Special wishes to Buck and Bertie Dissel and Eddie and Betty Hognett from Sitka, Arkansas, as Tudor's into the line. Fastball misses outside.
Sitka's in Alaska, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sitka, Alaska.
Good. Now we've got.
We're even. The 1-0. Ronnie out in front of a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. I would think Tudor'd be the kind of guy that could give Gant some problems. Ronnie looking for something solid to hit, trying to get his average up again. He's at 191, a couple of homers, 13 RBIs. And Tudor will play with you a lot. Goes back outside with an off-speed pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tudor's run average is at 0.91 since coming back as Gant swings and misses at a fastball.
Looks like Ed Olwine will be next week probably go out on that medical rehabilitation and start throwing. That's good news. He's been bothered by a bad arm all year.
The 2-2. Count runs full.
I talked with Dave Persley. He said neither Chuck Carey nor Jim Acker is ready to come back in the immediate future.
There's Ed in the center, flanked by Tom Glavine and Paul Renge. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Threw him a fastball. Ronnie foul tipped it, but right into the glove of Tony Pena.
Brings up pitcher Rick Mailer. Rick on the season 1 for 20. As you see it there. That hit was a double. Won 5-1 for the Cardinals. The Braves have scored a run on an area hit. Two strikes. Also, best wishes to Ted Drake, or Ted Drake and Steve Barton send their wishes. Our clubhouse men with the Braves AAA affiliate in Richmond. Ted recovering from a leukemia operation. We certainly wish him our best. Seems to be in good spirits. He's in remission, and certainly good to see him in good health. Fastball misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Albert Hall, the on-deck batter. Tudor misses upstairs again. The 2-2. Grounded foul at the feet of Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine, the third base coach. Roy Matika at first. There's a look at Bobby. And there's Roy Matika, his first time in the major leagues after spending 29 years in the minors. Mailer drills one to center field. McGee comes up, and Willie makes the catch.
I wonder who the writer was in Philadelphia who first coined it. Remember when Cookie Rojas was the second baseman and Bobby Wine the shortstop? He called it Days of Wine and Rojas.
You're a sharp man.
No, whoever thought that up was.
Albert Hall, the batter. Albert popped to short his first time up. Currently hitting at .262. He has 27 hits and 103 at bat, 6 RBIs. Gets jammed, pushes it. Alicea is under it and makes a running catch. So the Braves go up and down in their half of the third after 3 complete from the stadium. Scores tied at 1.
One game, and once again, Ernie, John Tudor has not allowed a hit in the early innings. Third time since he came off the disabled list he's gotten off to that kind of start.
He's flirted with no-hitters, and the Braves so far haven't had any real good cuts against him, but he's that type pitcher. He looks good to hit, but then you get up there and he's not easy.
Tony Pena had a base hit his first time up. A ball and no strikes the count. And that'll be out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pena altering his batting stance early in the month of May. May 10th was when he first tried it in the game. Since then, hitting over 300. Opened it up a little bit.
Talking about easy to hit and looking good. If a guy throws about 90 miles an hour and he's got a great slider and he's really a power pitcher, batters will come back and say, boy, this guy is really tough. But then if you're a breaking ball pitcher with just a halfway decent fastball, they will come back and say, I can't understand it. He looks good to hit. And a lot of times you're swinging at his motion. But Tudor gives you the middle of the plate. He takes the corners.
That curveball had Pena way out in front. And Rick Mailer has his first strikeout of the night.
Pretty good sign here. Mailer has not had any strikeouts. He got that slow curve over, and Pena is out of there. And here comes Bob Horner.
Horner had a run-scoring single, driving in the Cardinals' only run back in the second inning. He's had a funny year against Atlanta. He's been up 14 times against his former teammates. He only has 2 hits, but he has 5 RBIs. Sac fly in last night's game drove in the winning run. 0-1 the count on Bob. Horner and Mailer, great buddies. They played a lot of golf together when they were teammates. This should be handled by either Simmons or Gant. It'll be Ronnie Gant. And there are 2 down. So 2 down quickly here in the top half of the 4th inning, and now Luis Alicea will step in. Alicea flying to center, his first time up.
They have a lot of faith in this guy. They traded away Tommy Herr and gave Alicea a chance.
Since that deal, the Cardinals have really turned things around. Since acquiring Tom Brunansky and moving Alicea in at second base, Cards are 19-11. Into left center field. That's going to be in for extra bases. Alicea will head for second. We'll see if he tries for more. He'll hold on. A double for Luis Alicea, his 5th double of the year. That's the 6th hit off of Rick Mailer.
I think he went the other way on purpose. Let's see. Yes, good job of hitting. The ball is sinking away, and he just went to left center field. And Mailer appears to be ready to get right through an inning like this one and the last one, retiring the first 2 batters, and then they come up with a base hit. And now they've got Oquendo with a pitcher to follow, And Benedict's talking it over with Mailer. Remains to be seen whether Russ Nixon will walk this guy or just pitch to him. It's early in the game. Chances are they'll pitch to him, and they will.
He had a base hit back in the second inning when the Cardinals scored their run.
And last night, too, 1-for-1 with an RBI with a peculiar stance.
Ball 1 the count. Oquendo, who can play anywhere. He's played every position for the Cardinals except catch.
That stance is right out of the 1900s, early 1912.
It's Rod Carew's batting stance. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Maxfield describing the abilities of his utility man Jose Oquendo, saying he can play 8 positions, 7 of them well. Two and 1.
Had a fella with the old Pirates called Rocky Nelson, and he had a stance just like this, and he would hit pretty well. He was at third one day, and 1 out, 3-2 count. And on a strikeout, he trotted home, and a catcher tagged him.
Pretty well hit to right, but Murphy will handle it. And that's all for the Cardinals.
Before we go, they said, "Why did you do that, Rocky?" And he says, "Well, that's why they call me Rocky."
We go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied.
Detroit at Boston. That's game 5. Bob Neal and Rick Barry will handle it. Right now, after their win today, Detroit leading in that series 2-1.
Here it's a 1-1 game. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Andres Thomas, who popped to second his first time up, will lead off. Nothing and 1 to Thomas. 2 hits in his last 16 at bats after a 10-game hitting streak was snapped. Same spot, same result. 1-0 and 2. The count on Andres.
Right on the corner with 2 fastballs. Braves want to thank Hines for team jersey night.
And the 0-2 to Thomas. Tudor with a good play. 1 away in the 4th inning. Hitters against John Tudor being told, as you see the thank you flying high above the stadium, being reminded by Clarence Jones, the Braves hitting coach, to not try and pull the ball against this guy. He tries to get you to try to pull a pitch. Most of his pitches are away. They want you to try to hit it up the middle or the opposite way. Renicky flying to right his first time. 1 ball, no strikes.
Got a great changeup. And, of course, a good control.
Given up only 1 home run in 43 innings of work this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. He has a pitch that at times looks like a screwball. It's not really a screw-G. It's just a sinker that naturally moves away from right-hand hitters. He doesn't release it as a screwball pitcher would. And the 1-1 to Renicky. 2-1. Two and 2, the count on Gary Renicky. We're tied at 1. Cardinals with 6 hits in the game. Braves still looking for their first hit. Atlanta's only run came in the 2nd when Murphy reached second on a throwing error by Oquendo. Moved over to 3rd on a ground out and came home in a sac fly by Oberkfell. Into left center field. Willie McGee on the run. He won't get to this one. It's going all the way to the wall. Renicky heads for second. And he'll be in with a stand-up double. There is the first Atlanta hit. Renicky with his 5th double of the year.
And he hit it. Let's watch a location. Well, it was low, but it was a breaking ball coming in. And Renicky just went down there and got it and lined it to left center field. Here's Murphy.
Murphy reached on Oquendo's error back in the 2nd. Came around to score the Atlanta run. Murph could use a base hit here. He has only 3 runs driven in his last 72 at bats now. He's been stuck on 13 RBIs for some time. Tudor got the low fastball by him. 0-1. Renicky at second, 1 man out. A ball and a strike, the count to Murph. Pickoff play back at second. It was close. Alicea came in behind Renicky and almost got him.
Pena might have given a sign for this pickoff. Renicky just got back ahead of the tag. That was a good time play. Tudor was never looking back. He was just looking at his catcher and then whirled.
Count still 1-1 on Murphy. Up and in, 2-1. That's an amazing figure for John Tudor. You expect a St. Louis pitcher to have that kind of a record at home at times. But you go on the road, play in smaller ballparks. Just missed outside. 3-1 the count. Ted Simmons on deck.
Good spot for Murphy just to look for a particular pitch, and if it's not just what you want, don't swing at it. He's ahead 3-1.
Here comes the 3-1 to Murphy. Right to the third baseman, Oquendo. He'll look the runner back. Another low throw. Another throwing error by Oquendo. So for the second time in the game, Murphy reaches on a bad throw by Jose Oquendo. Runners are at first and second.
That ball is really hit hard, and Oquendo made the play, then threw low. This is a play that Horner might have come up with. It wasn't such a long hop, but he didn't, and the Braves get another break. And here's Simmons with runners at first and second, 1 out.
Simmons grounded out to second in the second. He was giving himself up back then, trying to move the runner over to third. He's another one that could use a base hit. He has not had a hit since back on the 26th of April. Hasn't played much since then. He's 0 for 9 since that time. Tonight's game represents the first time that Simmons has started a ball game since April 22nd. There are your runners. Murphy first, Renicky second. One thing Simmons does not want to do here is hit a ground ball, because he is a double play prospect if he does. Ball 1 the count. 1-1 game. The Braves with 2 men on, 1 man out here in the bottom of the 4th. Game number 5 under Russ Nixon. Braves have won 2 and lost 2 since Nixon took over. One ball, 1 strike on Simmons.
2 balls in a row have been hit hard. Renicky, of course, got the double, but Murphy's ball was hit hard too. Simmons did not hit that last one very well. And Pena wants to talk it over with Tudor, and they might change a sign here with the runner at second. If they do, they want to make sure they let Ozzie Smith and Alicea know it, because they use a indicator set. They must know what's coming, and they do. They sometimes can play off the curveball, lean one way. Sometimes it's just if a breaking ball is coming, they will lean a certain way. Usually if you're a right-handed batter, they feel that you will pull it.
A ball and a strike, the count on Simmons with 1 out. The runners lead from first and second. And that misses low, 2-1. Murphy off first, Renicky off second. And a 2-1 on the way. Right back to the pitcher. This should get Tudor out of the inning. Ozzie Smith over to Horner. The 1-6-3 double play ends the bottom half of the fourth. We go to the fifth inning, still tied. Braves 1, Cardinals 1.
Audio, any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club, known as the Braves, is prohibited.
We go to the top of the fifth inning. Pete Van Wern, Ernie Johnson with you from Atlanta. Tudor, Coleman, Smith due up here against Rick Mailer. John Tudor popped to short his first time.
Come on, Rick. Come on, son.
And the count 0-1. Bruce Benedict doing the catching again tonight. He was saying before the game that Rick Mailer has pitched better since they've gotten Rick out of pattern pitching, meaning that he was coming in with the same pitch in the same situations almost every time. Ronnie Gant with a long throw. And Tudor retired, 1 away. In other words, if Mailer's ahead in the count, say 1-2, almost every time in that situation, he was always throwing the off-speed curveball. He still will throw that pitch in that situation from time to time, but not always. Vince Coleman is fouled out to short and fly to center.
Game very much like last night. It was 2-2 in our game last night. After 6.
Mailer has gotten Coleman to hit the ball in the air his first 2 times up. If you can get Coleman to do that, you've got a pretty good chance of getting him. He wants to hit ground balls and line drives. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Tried to bunt that off-speed curve. And it's 0-2. So we've got Mailer ahead in the count. We'll see what he throws here.
He's arguing that he didn't offer at it. Let's see if he offers at this. Oh, Vince, come on. Give me a break. 0-2. Unless you offer at it twice, but I think all you got to do is offer at it once.
1 man out here in the top half of the fifth inning. Game tied 1-1. Carnes with 6 hits, Braves with 1. Threw him a fastball in, the count 1-2. Tomorrow afternoon, Kevin Kaufman against Jose De Leon. Our next telecast Monday afternoon, 1:05 Eastern time. Pirates are here. Pete Smith against Doug Drabeck.
Coleman's not only having a good offensive year, but Jack Buck says he's catching everything that's hit out in left field. He's having just one of his best years.
Still 1-2 on Vince Coleman. Russ Nixon hoping to guide this team to its 3rd win in the 5 games since he's been here. Two and 2 the count. It's almost like spring training again. Braves have been having the players come out early, work on various things, bunt situations, pitchers working on their bunting. Russ wants to have a chance to evaluate everyone on this ball club himself over the next 2 weeks or so. And he's very blunt about it. He says after 2 weeks or so, the players who are doing it will play. The players who are not doing it will either sit or go somewhere else.
Benedict caught that bat off the backswing of Coleman. He also, Nixon said, if you don't take infield, take batting practice, you don't play. So everybody's showing up, and I think they even quieted down the clubhouse with the music in.
No radios, no tape players. The only television is to watch tape cassettes of baseball. Here's the 2-2 to Coleman. Full count, 3-2. So Mailer got ahead in the count, 0-2. Now he's filled it.
The manager's approach to the game is usually the way the manager performed when he was a player. And Nixon was a catcher for a long time and approached the game very seriously.
That's the line drive that Coleman wants to hit. Albert Hall can't get to it. Look out. Coleman at second. He's heading for third. Reinicke's relay back, and Coleman will apply the brakes at third. That is Vince Coleman's 8th triple of the year. Nope, they're going to call it a single and an error.
They feel, as I do, that Albert Hall should at least knock this ball down. He came over from center field. Now watch him. The ball bounced there. Albert just missed it. From that angle, it looked like it was a very difficult play, but from our angle when it happened, it didn't look like Albert should have let that ball get by.
So Vince Coleman at third now. Ozzie Smith. Look out for the squeeze here. Right to the first baseman, Simmons. Coleman will have to stay right where he is. Simmons just stared him down after fielding that ball. Ozzie Smith now 0 for 3.
They might even change that ruling on the triple.
I thought that was a very tough error.
They might change it after looking at the replay. Might have kicked a little bit away from Albert. No, but when it first happened, I thought he should have knocked it down.
Whether it's ruled a single or a triple, it is 7 hits off of Rick Mahler. Here's Willie McGee. You can see what he tries to do up there. Just try to slap the ball and keep it in play somewhere. And against the Braves this season, he's batting .500. Doing that, 10 for 20.
He's changed his theory on hitting because he used to hit some home runs. In fact, he hit one off the facade left-handed in St. Louis last year. And in a World Series, he had a couple of homers. More of a slap hitter now.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count. 2 men out. 1-1 game. Vince Coleman at third. And Mahler ahead in the count, 1-2. Skip and Billy talked about Ed Olwine being almost ready to come back earlier in the game. Ed's celebrating a birthday today. He's 30 years old.
Oh, he's getting to be an old timer, 30.
There's Mr. Olwine with the jacket.
He was throwing pretty well the other day. He'll go down and to rehab and then come on back. You can always use a left-hander in that bullpen.
Now Benedict and Mahler will talk over, and this could be that situation. It's a 1-2 count. Mahler may want to throw that breaking ball or something off speed. Bruce may have a different theory. The 1-2 on the way. McGee hits the breaking ball. It hits the bag at first. A fair ball. McGee didn't break from the batter's box right away, and he's out by 5 steps. He must have thought the ball was going to be foul, but it hit the bag at first. Ted Simmons had an easy play. You'll see McGee just stand there for a moment, and Mahler pitches out of it with a runner stranded at third. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. It's still a 1-1 game. Benedict and Ryan Gant due up against John Tudor. We're tied 1-1. Oberkfell drove in the Braves run with a sac fly to right, and there's a looping liner to center field, and Oberkfell's hitting streak is a 12-game one. Only the second hit off of Tudor.
He hit that just the way he threw it, soft.
This hit gives Oberkfell a 12-game hitting streak, matching his career best.
That ties Oberkfell's career high hitting streak. And Bruce Benedict, who's working on a 6-game hitting streak, he grounded out to short his first time up here, might be bunting in this spot. Oquendo in on the edge of the grass at third. He is not squaring. Ball 1 the count, down near the pitcher's spot in the order. And when you get down that way, sometimes the strategy changes. But the bunt might be put on now. We'll see.
Only time Obi would run would be on a hit and run. Benedict handles the bat pretty well.
Oberkfell chased back. Back when Bruce was the regular Braves catcher, they used to put the hit and run on a lot with him at the plate. He just served that ball into right field. They're trying it here, and it's driven. It is a fair ball down the left field line. Oberkfell heading for third. Bobby Wine's going to wave him. Here comes Coleman's throw toward the plate. Oquendo's relay won't get there in time. And Bruce Benedict continues to hit the ball extremely well. A 7-game hitting streak for Benedict. His 5th RBI. The Braves lead it 2-1.
This is a tough call for Dutch Rennert, the umpire, third. The ball went over third in the air, according to Dutch Rennert. It hit about 3 feet foul beyond third, but that makes it a fair ball just as long as it goes over the bag fair. The relay coming in, and Oberkfell beats it, and the Braves lead it. Here's Ron Gant.
Benedict with 5 RBIs now in the season. That matches his total season output last year.
Obi got in ahead of the relay, and here's Gant.
Gant a strikeout victim his first time. 2-1 Atlanta. Braves making the most of their 3 hits off of Tudor. Driven to right. Brunansky will hold Benedict at second base. 1 out. Now Rick Mahler. This little stretch by Bruce Benedict, a 7-game hitting streak, about the best he's hit the ball in nearly 3 years. Playing a little bit more this year with Ozzie Virgil banged up as he is. Mahler fly to center his first time.
Gant trying to advance a runner hitting on the right side. Hit it hard, but right at Brunansky.
Chased an eye-level pitch there. 0-1 the count. Mahler a better hitter than that 1-for-21 performance this season. He has close to a 200 lifetime average. Right to the pitcher, Tudor. Can they get the double play? Yes. Good play by Tudor. And the 1-6 double play ends the inning, but the Braves have taken the lead. On the run-scoring double by Benedict, we go to the 6th inning. Atlanta 2, St. Louis 1. In that game, it was the Phillies 4-3 over the Giants in 10 innings. Von Hayes home run won that for the Phils. Wind was blowing out at Wrigley today for a change, and there's the result. 14-7 Cubs, 3 Chicago home runs, 2 for Houston. Under new manager Jack McKeon, San Diego a 1-0 lead over the Mets. They go to the 4th inning at Shea. Pittsburgh a 2-1 lead over Cincinnati. In the American League, White Sox beat Toronto. Oakland keeps on winning. They beat Boston. Eckersley his 16th save. Tonight's games are all early and all scoreless. We go to the 6th inning. Braves leading at 2-1. Here's Ernie.
Okay, Professor. Tom Brunansky will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. He has a 13-game hitting streak, and the curveball is in there. 0-1. 2-1 Atlanta. Top of the 6th. They have 7 hits. The Braves have 3. Toward the hole. Tough play. Thomas. A long throw, and he got him. Brunansky, a big guy. My dad would say a big shunk. Swedes have trouble saying chunk. That was a good deal pulled off by Dal Maxwell, getting Brunansky. 1 down. Pena will be next. Boy, the wind has been blowing out at Wrigley. Rafael Palmeiro's at 3 home runs in the last 2 games, and Jody Davis is at 3.
I'm sure the Cubs were glad to see that, too. They were really in a run-scoring drought there. Had to put Rick Sutcliffe on the disabled list today, though, for 21 days. That back problem of his just not coming around.
And Don Mattingly of the Yankees disabled after playing 335 straight games. He's got a pull muscle in his side. A lot of pull muscles in the rib cages of late. Here's a pitch. A lot of hamstring pulls, and Terry Pendleton's gone for 15 days. The 0-1. Mailer misses outside. Rick Mailer in the last year of his contract, and he's got some incentives built in. Boy, he wants to pitch anytime they'll give him the ball. In fact, when he was in that marathon, pitched 8 innings, beat the Cardinals in relief. He took 2 days off and got the ball back in Cincinnati and won. In fact, Mailer will tell you that he likes a 4-man rotation. There's a bouncer foul. That is pitch today, rest 3 days, and then pitch. Most managers, and Russ is one of them, they like the 5-man rotation. 2 balls,
Especially
2
with
strikes.
a young pitching staff like the Braves have this year.
1 out. Pena with a single and a strikeout and a pitch to him. Low and away. Hit foul, pass first. Rich Hacker coaching there. His uncle Warren Hacker was a very fine pitcher for the Cubs for a long time. Boy, he would give up a lot of home runs at times, but he would challenge the hitters, and he was a fine major leaguer for a number of years. There's Nick Leyva at third. And the pitch is swung on and missed.
Well, he got him last time in a curveball swinging. This time he threw him high heat fastball up in the strike zone. Got Pena to chase that. 2 strikeouts for Mailer. Pena's been the victim both times.
By the reception, you can tell Bob Horner is down there. He's getting a mixed reaction. He gets a few cheers. Might be overridden a bit by the boos, but the big guy handles it. There's a curveball in there. If you can handle cheers and boos in this business, well, you seek another trade. No balls, 1 strike.
Horner, of course, the last major leaguer to hit 4 homers in a game. We had it done in the minor leagues again a couple nights ago. Matt Williams, the shortstop for Phoenix.
Curveball.
He played with the Giants briefly last year when Jose Uribe was out. He had a 4-home-run game for the Phoenix Firebirds.
He's got to be in the major leagues shortly. He's a good-looking player.
Should be.
Yeah. He'll be up one day to stay. We watched him play last year. No balls, 2 strikes. Horner knocked in their run. The curve has popped up. He had him reaching for it, and Gant's going to catch it. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Rick Mailer. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Braves are up by 1.
Country music star Lynn Anderson will join Ken Squire to preview tomorrow's race, the Coca-Cola 600, which tomorrow at 12:20 Eastern Time will air right here on the Superstation. Bill Elliott, Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip head the field. That's the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte tomorrow right here.
Albert Hall leads it off. We got fans here from Nampa and Rupert, Idaho. We hope that they enjoy the game. There are seats left for tomorrow's Beach Boy concert and the Braves Cardinal game. Expect a good crowd, but there are some seats available, and the weather is going to be just great. Strike call. 0-1.
Got your surfboard all waxed?
Yes, sir. Got the
Woody all shined up?
Yes, sir. Got my Hawaiian shirt today.
All right. You're ready.
Get the lays and maybe a cap of some sort. Albert Hall taking a little walk
I
after
can hardly
missing that
wait.
Yes. Unfortunate we're on just on Braves Radio tomorrow. We're going to be all decked out. Maybe we'll take a picture and save it for the guys. Because everyone wants to see those.
And then again,
Casper says wear it Monday. No, that's just a one-day performance.
only for the Beach Boys.
Only for the Beach Boys. Albert Hall down on strikes.
Second strikeout for Tudor. That pitch was not a strike, but Hall chased it.
Now Andres Thomas, 2 for 4 last night. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He'll be followed by Gary Renicky. Kevin Kaufman pitches tomorrow against Jose De Leon. That'll be on Braves Radio only. WSB and our 100 station network going throughout the Southeast. Pitch is low, 1-0. Fastball fouled away. John Tudor is one of 3 pitchers, Shane Raleigh and Fernando Valenzuela, the other 2 that have won at least 10 ball games in the last 6 years. Left-handers. There's a high pop. Who's going to catch it? Tony Pena. 2 down. Thomas fouled to the catcher. Now Gary Renicky. Renicky got the first hit off Tudor, a line drive double in the 4th.
You see the new contest they have going in Cleveland over in the American League? Who's going to win 10 games first, Greg Swindell or the Baltimore Orioles? They both have 9 right now.
That's a rip. That's bad. That's bad. Breaking ball over. It's funny when scouts look at youngsters, and if a kid throws about 84, 85 miles an hour, they question, well, I don't know, he doesn't throw very hard. But you can name so many pitchers in the major leagues that have an 85-mile-an-hour fastball. There's a little pop that might be trouble. That ball is trouble. Base hit. And Renicky trying for 2, and he's going to make it. Little pop fly double.
And Renicky never stopped running on this. If the ball had been picked up cleanly, it might have been a very close play at second. But Vince Coleman overran it. They're going to charge him with an error, and Deion James will go in now to run for Gary Renicky.
Renicky taken out. Charge Coleman with the error. Take away the double, give him a single. Now Murphy with a runner at second base. Deion James, the runner for Renicky. And then he will stay in the ball game. Murphy's been up twice, and he's reached on errors by Oquendo both times. Cardinal third baseman has thrown low to first. Murphy needs a homer so badly. Or an RBI, as Pete mentioned. They've been hard to come by, too. Rally Alley's got a party going.
It's one that I don't want to go to.
I'll tell you, if Murphy, in fact, Whitey might walk him anyway. They got 2 outs, a base open, and I was a little surprised they were going to pitch to him, even though he's in a slump. And now Tony Pena raises his hand, 4 fingers, put him on. After he fell behind, he doesn't want Tudor to throw a fat one, so it's going to be up to a former Cardinal, Ted Simmons. And the boos ring out. Boo. That's one thing about this game of baseball. The fans can participate. Intentional pass to Murphy, even though the first 2 weren't intentional pitches outside of the strike zone. Here's Simmons.
And just to show you how good the control of John Tudor has been since coming off the disabled list, that's only the 8th walk he's given up in over 40 innings, and 3 of them have been intentional. He's only walked 5 hitters unintentionally.
Got to hit him to beat him. And the Braves are up by 1 thin run right now. Last night's ball game real close. Runners first and second, Murphy and James. Simmons takes the strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Sequence of signs by Pena. And an 0-1. Bouncing ball out to second. Now Lasea throws to first in plenty of time. And the Braves strand a couple. We go to the 7th. 2-1 Atlanta. 1 for 2 with the double will lead it off. Deion James is a new left fielder. He went in to run for Renegade, who finished the night in good fashion. He had 2 hits. Strike call. Ken Daly starts to loosen up in their bullpen. Like all home week when you play the Cardinals. Former Cardinals are now Braves, and former Braves now Cardinals. No balls, 1 strike. The outfield straight away. And that's hit hard. Nice play, Simmons. Beautiful play by Ted Simmons. He took a double away from Alicea.
Boy, this ball was hit like a rocket. You either do or you don't, and he did. A fine play by Ted.
And some neat camera work. Here's O'Kendall, who was 1 for 2. Naylor delivers high. He has allowed 7 hits. You got to remember, 4 of them were in 1 inning. They picked up their run. Fouled away.
No, Ernie, school's about out. A lot of folks from out of town will be coming in. Can commend to them now the Atlanta Zoo, which used to be sort of a joke. They've done a.
Not
they're
anymore.
Still in the middle of it, boy. They are done a great job over there. I was there again today.
Josh looking for some dinosaurs.
Oh.
Or is he off that kick?
Oh no.
No?
But he knows his way around that zoo. He likes the reptiles.
Okay. Little pop, center field. Albert Hall. That is 2 down. And Tudor will bat for himself. If anybody had gotten on, they would have lifted him. Daly sits down. Whitey Herzog managing the St. Louis Cardinals, and he has been a very fine major league manager. He has over 1,000 wins in his career. Whitey's 56, and he was a pretty good player. He played 8 years in the major leagues. He was an outfielder and a first baseman. Whitey chomping away. That's Mike Rourke right next to him, the pitching coach. Also a very fine coach.
Meanwhile, what a turnaround by Mailer, huh?
Yes. We still haven't found out if anyone has won 4 games on a road trip. Probably some relief pitcher might have, but a starter? That's out to Gant. In between, Hoppy should still get him, and he does. He bobbled it, but kept it in front and throws him out, and we go to lucky half of the 7th, somebody said. Braves lead by 1. To be followed by Bruce Benedict and Ron Gant. Have a few messages there, partner.
Ricky Hancock, 6 years old, here at the ballpark tonight. The Hamiltons from Naples, Florida, are here. Darrell and Jane Lewis of Inman, South Carolina, in attendance. Tim Hamill's 17th birthday tonight. He's here.
Coming in for the big weekend, 21,310 here tonight. They're expecting around 30,000 or more tomorrow. Still tickets available. Should be a wonderful afternoon. The weatherman is certainly cooperating. Curve high to Oberkfell.
And the Beach Boys, of course, after the game.
Oberkfell has hit safely in 12 straight. With his single the last time up, he had a sac fly in the 2nd, getting the first run in for the Braves. Every game that Russ Nixon has managed, the series in Chicago and the 2 here, there have been no blowouts. Boy, they have been tough, tight ball games. 1-2. What I'm saying is he's had to manage.
Yes.
You know, when you're in one-sided games, I remember Larry Boa saying that last year. And if you didn't hear, he was let go by the Padres today. Jack McKean is the new manager for the rest of the season. And the 2-2 hit foul. Talked to Larry Boa last year when they had that horrible start, and he said, well, I haven't had a chance to manage. And I said, why? And he said, we've never been in a ball game.
10-2 in the 5th. There's not much you can do.
You just sit there.
He'll be back, I'll bet you. He's a good baseball man, Larry Bowa.
Yep. Outstanding player. Baseball is his life. Foul tip, and Pena couldn't hold on to it. It was a check swing by Obie. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-1, bottom of the 7th. The Cardinals won late last night. It was 2-2. Late. There's a foul away. It was 2-2 after 7 last night. They got 2 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th to win it 5-2. Obie just punches the ball around. High pop. Should be handled by Coleman easily. He's in foul territory for the out. Now Bruce Benedict. 1 for 2, 7-game hitting streak. His average is at 269. Having a much better year than last season. Playing a lot more. Ozzie Virgil's been hurt from time to time. Ozzie was all banged up. Not only was his knees hurting, his elbow was hurting. Benedict steps out on him. Tonight's attendance. Saturday night is the best draw for the Braves. It's been that way for a long time. High pop. Short left. Smith. We'll have a larger crowd tomorrow, but by and large, when you come for the weekend in Atlanta, Saturday night has been the best draw. Friday night, second, then Sunday afternoon. But with that great promotion tomorrow, the attendance will be the best tomorrow of the weekend. Ron Gant, last time up, tried to advance the runner from second to third and hit the ball right on the nose, but right at Brunansky. He's 0 for 2. Fouled it away. That one hit Tony Pena. Foul tip got him.
I don't know where, but boy, he is hurting. Let's look at it here. Might have gotten in under the mask. It's tough to tell. Tony's going to be all right, but the way he's acting, it might have been his shoulder. Or...
flexing his right arm right now. I believe it did get him in his shoulder.
I think that's what it is. What do you call that bone up there? The
collarbone?
Collarbone, yeah.
That's what they used to call it. I guess it's still a
collarbone. That's the one, the bone right up there by your collar. Yeah.
He's testing it. He's all right. There is not much protection right there. Then when you get down around the thighs, and not protection there either. A catcher really has to take a lot of hard knocks. That's why so few kids want to catch. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Most kids want to be the pitcher and clean up batter, maybe play short once in a while. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low and away.
Isn't first base the highest paid position? Didn't USA Today run a...
Yeah, I think it was last year that they ran a piece on it, and first base, the average player made more than anyone else. You can vote for your favorite player through USA Today for the All-Star team. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last report, Dave Winfield was the leader in votes. Well, what a year he's had.
You may have to write another book. He keeps this up.
Yeah. Off the fist, out toward second. Alicea throws him out. That's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 8th inning. 2-1 Atlanta.
Okay, Ernie, thank you very much. Top of the order for the Cardinals, Vince Coleman will lead it off as you look at the scoreboard. brought to you by Mitsubishi. Coleman, Smith, and McGee here in the 8th. Suter is ready if needed in the bullpen. He virtually throws the ball 6 times and he's ready to go. So he's just standing out there looking on right now. The Pee Wee baseball clubs from Albany, Georgia here tonight. Always good to have the youngsters in attendance.
Yes, and all the fine fans from Gainesville, Georgia. Mom, Pop, and all the kids, and we hope they've enjoyed the game.
A lot of Chris Carpenter's friends and family down, I would imagine.
He had 28 passes on last night, I think. 28. That's all they could get.
Coleman takes a strike, 0-1. People in Gainesville go a little wacko when Carpenter pitches against Jody Davis. They don't know what they want to have happen. Coleman fouls it away. That's 100 pitches for Mailer. That second strike to Coleman. You throw out the second inning, Mailer would have a 3-hitter going. And we mentioned earlier, we'll repeat it again, Murphy hitting the cutoff man and Thomas being alert and Simmons being in position may have said Atlanta could be down 6 or 7 to 2 by now.
It's a big out.
Pena singled, sending a runner to third with nobody out, but he was trapped off first. They had 4 hits in the inning, managed only 1 run. Mailer has been in control ever since, and is 0-2 to Coleman. Missed inside, a ball and 2 strikes. There's your line score. Uncharacteristically, the Cardinals with 3 errors. Up the middle. Andrus can't make the play. I doubt that he'd have thrown him out anyway. It'll be a hit. Bad hop single. You know he can fly, so hang loose. And here comes Russ Nixon.
Cardinal fans here cheering as Coleman reaches. This ball was bobbled right here, but he's not going to throw out Vince Coleman.
Double switch time for Atlanta. Gerald Perry will check in and play first base. He will bat 9th and will lead off the bottom half of the inning. And Bruce Suter will bat in the number 5 spot. He comes on to pitch with a runner at first, nobody out, and the Braves on top 2-1. We'll be back.
This relief break is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol, because the pitcher isn't the only one at this ball game who needs some relief.
Were you surprised?
Surprised to turn 40? No.
I meant the party. The pizza.
The heartburn.
Mm-hmm. You know what they say about anchovies at your age.
Anchovies don't get to be my age. Do we have any Pepto?
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the soothing relief of Pepto-Bismol. The one that coats is the only one you need.
Feeling better?
Like a kid again.
Hi, Tom. Looks like you beat me again.
No problem, Whitey. Have a sporting news on me. I get it at home, and that's where I'm heading.
I get the sporting news.
Suter on the pitch. He'll bat 5th. Ted Simmons and Rick Mailer out of the game. Another fine job for Mailer. He went 7 innings plus. Allowed 8 hits, struck out 2, didn't walk anyone. So Suter faces his old teammate and friend Ozzie Smith. Oberg fell even with a bag at third. Ozzie 0 for 3 on the night. Will they play hit and run? Will they let Coleman try to steal it? Will they sacrifice? A lot of possibilities here. Suter steps off the mound trying to cut down on the Coleman lead. He's 23 out of 29 in the stolen base department. Smith, McGee, and Brunansky, the next three for St. Louis. Again, Suter steps up. We'll be over here a while now in this spot. You got to keep a close eye on Vince Coleman.
Suter, with nobody on base, always works from the stretch, and he really doesn't stop when there's nobody on base, but you can't balk with nobody on base, so he has to make a special effort with somebody on to stop.
There he goes. There's the throw. He is out of there. Perfect throw by Benedict. Thomas with the tag. That helps.
What a throw by Benedict on Coleman. Thomas makes the catch. They fake the bunt, and Benedict is on target. Got him.
It was
close.
A great tag by Thomas.
Yeah. Quick tag.
2-0 to Ozzie Smith. Well, that changes things around a little bit. Two and one.
What Suter has done this year, his regular fastball appears to be faster than usual. He struck out guys like Hubie Brooks and Andre Dawson.
Just missed. 3-1. Willie McGee on deck. Ozzie's a great base runner. You like to keep him off there. He's 16 out of 18 in the stolen base department.
He's 33 years old, and he hasn't lost a step.
At the knees, full count, 3-2. Braves cling to a 2-1 lead in the 8th. They've been out hit 8-4. Still 3-2 at Ozzie. Suter rubs up the baseball. The Cardinals shortstop waits patiently. Tapped foul. He stayed alive. Still 3-2. Jose De Leon against Kevin Kaufman tomorrow. No television tomorrow. If you're in the Atlanta area, come on out to the ballpark. If not, the Braves 100 station plus radio network will have it for you. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That might have been ball 4. Milwaukee's Odell Jones, a perfect game through 5 innings tonight at Cleveland.
Been a lot of those this year. 5 and 6 innings, no hitters.
He used to be with the Pirates, didn't he? Odell Jones. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. It was a split finger.
See if we can see any action. Remember, it's where it goes over the plate, not where Bruce Benedict catches it. That acted like a screwball. Down and away.
Willie McGee is lined to second. Single, bounce to first. Brunansky would be next. Fastball low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. McGee at 301 on the year. He's 13 out of 15 in the stolen base department. Sharply hit. Good play by Thomas. Long throw. Got him. Inning over. Suter shuts the door in the 8th. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, no one left. Bottom half of the 8th inning. A little insurance couldn't hurt. Atlanta today, his first trip tonight. He's hitting .295. 3 homers, 23 runs driven in. There's your line score. Gerald really spread out up there.
Yeah, he's in a deep crouch, and seems like he's been hitting better since going into that crouch. Wow, he picked up about 40 points on that road trip.
Big swing came up empty on the breaking ball. A ball and a strike to count.
John Tudor has pitched himself a fine ball game, but Naylor and Suter have done better. A little pop, short center field. Ozzie is out there. Alicea is there. He calls for it. 1 out. Perry is out, the top of the order. Albert Hall will be the batter. In the bottom, or rather in the 9th inning, top of the 9th, Tom Brunansky, Tony Pena, Bob Horner, 3 power guys will hit or are scheduled up for St. Louis. The beach ball makes its appearance here, and the Beach Boys will be here tomorrow
Yes,
after the game.
that usually starts when they're bored. No one's bored of this game. It is 2-1.
Fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Hall is 0 for 3. He's popped to short, popped to second, struck out. Had a home run cut, foul tipped it into Pena's glove.
The Oakland A's won again today. They're 33-14, 19 games over 500, best record in baseball.
Amazing.
And they're not through yet.
Well, we're happy for Glenn Hubbard. A little tap. Alicea gloves it. And that's 2 out. So unless the Braves can come up with some 2-out lightning, Bruce Sutter will carry only a 1-run lead into the 9th inning. Andres Thomas 0 for 3. He has failed to get the ball out of the infield. Tudor has pitched a good one. Braves scored on an Oberkfell sacrifice fly in the 2nd and a Bruce Benedict hit and run double in the 5th, and the inning is quickly over. Oquendo grabs it, and Tudor continues to weave his way. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Brunansky 1 for 3, a 2nd inning single. He scored the Cardinal run. He has tremendous power. They play him straight away and deep. A ball and a strike, the count. Nobody on, nobody out. 9th inning. Suter deals. Low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Looks like Ken Daly up again in the Cardinal bullpen. The Atlanta bullpen is silent. There's Ken. It's Suter's game. This is a medical miracle that this guy is pitching in the major league. Uh-oh, 3-1. Be careful here, as this guy can hit.
Thomas has him played right in the hole. It's short.
The tying run is on with nobody out. How will Pena play it here? First walk for Suter.
Baylor had no walks. Been a well-pitched game on both sides, but now Pena looking for a sign to see whether he's going to be called upon to bunt. If you were home, you would always bunt in this situation. On the road, Whitey might play for the win. We'll see.
Pena 1 for 3. Double play ball. 6, 4, 3. A pitcher's best friend.
Boy, you said it. And in a spot like this, he went after the split finger, hit it right to Thomas, and Gant handled it well. They had the batter Pena easily at first. Now here's Bob Horner. He's the last hope for St. Louis.
And as anyone who's followed Atlanta Braves baseball at all knows, He has hit a lot of home runs in this ballpark, and that's what he has to be thinking about now.
141 out of 217 have been hit here.
Little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Not many people have left this place. It's been a well-played game, a very interesting contest. Little tap down the third baseline. Oberkfell throws late. Perry saves it from going into right field. So it's not over yet. An infield hit, a swinging bunt off the bat of Bob Horner. Ford will come out and run for him.
The captain gets very few infield hits, but they're playing him deep, and he topped it to third, and Oberkfell had no chance to get him.
So Ford runs at first base. Alicea is the batter. He has a double in 3 at-bats. He ripped it into the alley in left center. Another one of those. We got a tie game.
Doesn't always work out. We've seen that, but Alicea hasn't seen that much of Suter. The advantage should be to Bruce Suter.
Would Whitey have Ford try to steal? I would doubt it after the good throw Benedict made on Coleman, but you never know. 9 hits for the Cardinals, 4 for the Braves, but it's 2-1 Atlanta. Suter off the mound. Ford doesn't budge over at first base. Now he tiptoes back to the bag. The good news about Suter is so far everything has been either a strikeout or a ground ball, and that indicates that the old split finger is
sinking,
doing its thing. Into the dirt. Benedict, a good play. Bruce has gotten a chance to play a lot here because of the physical problems of Ozzie Virgil, and he has really made the most of it, offensively and defensively. 1 ball, no strikes. Strike call. Alicea faked the bunt.
I think he's just trying to work him for a walk. Try to get it 2-0. Suter got the good fastball over.
Oquendo is due next. He's on deck. But there are 2 out in the inning. Ford a lead. Perry has to hold him on over there. He's the tying run. Suter tries to close the deal here against the Cardinals, his old team. Gerald tries to assist Mr. Ford off the bag, but Kurt would have none of that. Foul tip. Benedict tried to grab it before it went foul, but could not. Good effort by Bruce nonetheless, and it's 1-2. And with this count, I would think it is fairly safe to say you're going to see a humongous split finger fastball right here.
The fans are waiting for it.
Alicea steps out of the box. Suter steps off the mound. Climbs back up on the hill. Runner going. It's over. Alicea goes down swinging. Ford was running. It's Suter time, and he closes the deal. Atlanta wins it 2-1. Totals and highlights after this.
Okay, Skip, the Braves had 2 runs, only 4 hits and 1 error. The Cardinals 1 run, 9 hits. They committed 3 errors. One of them hurt. The Cardinals stranded 6, the Braves 3. Rick Mailer won his 6th ball game. He's lost 4. It was his 6th win in a row. Tudor, the loser, 1-1. Suter gets his 7th save. And Bruce Benedict not only had the game-winning RBI, but what was more important, he threw out Coleman after he had an infield hit in the 8th for out number 1 in a 2-1 game. Final score, the Braves 2 and the Cardinals 1.
And the rubber game of the series tomorrow afternoon. It's a 2:10 game, no television. Kevin Kaufman against Jose De Leon. That's followed by the Beach Boy concert, and tickets are available. And then don't forget on Monday, you fans in the Atlanta area, a 110 contest against the Pirates, who are in town on Tuesday and Wednesday nights as well. And then the Braves hit the road for about 2 weeks, heading to the West Coast and then Houston. 2-1 the final. Atlanta wins the game. The Beverly Hillbillies are next, and that will be followed by the Charlotte 600 Jamboree. Country music star Lynn Anderson joins Ken Squire to preview tomorrow's big race, which we will have here on TBS. For Ernie Johnson, Pete Van Wieren, Billy Sample, our TBS crew, headed by Rick Rayford, our director, and Glenn Diamond, our producer, Skip Carey from the ballpark. Have a nice night. So long, everybody.